Let's dive in.
Yep.
Yes. First, say welcome to all who are watching us now. We are now on the Carnival Team YouTube channel, and me and Mary from Graj Kolektyw, we will be the keepers of the Arcane lore, or Jeff Richard. Hello, Jeff.
Hi, it's wonderful to be here. Greetings from Colorado.
You are in Colorado. We are still in Poland, in Warsaw. And we will play Call of Cthulhu also in Poland. But, because now we are living in a very specific time, we choose to play in past. So let's play in 2019, before you know what happened. So no one need to wear mask during the game, for example.
Superb. Yes, those halcyon and the golden times.
Golden times. Yes. Imagine this. Forest full of golden leaves. Trees covered by gold, yellow, orange. Beautiful Polish autumn. Your car. Riding with the driver who picked up you from the airport.
Well, actually picked me up from where I was staying in Berlin because I actually have quite a little bit of a hangover and I'm jet lagged. All right, so I'm I've got and is it cold here?
It's quite cold. It's 10, maybe 15, maximum 15 Celsius grade. So, but still, it's very windy day.
Okay, so I'm in the back seat of the car. I've got my stocking cap on to keep myself warm. I've got sunglasses on, and I am absolutely regretting staying out drinking with Fred the night before. The night I got in at it would have been at a Tegel Flughafen there in Berlin. Oh. So I'm just kind of curled up in a ball in the back seat, and if I remember the roads.
You should met Fred, but there was one problem. He didn't appear in Berlin. Welcome you. You have met your old colleague from Berlin. Party with her in Berlin. This is the reason why you have this hangover. Fred
so who was our partner?
Should wait for you, but he didn't appear.
Well, if I remember, my recollection of Fred is he's pretty unreliable on these sorts of showing up to the right place. So I'm not trouble. Who actually met me at the airport?
The airport was no one. So you need to organize everything for you on your own. You pick up the phone, make a call to your colleague from Berlin. Angela say, okay, let's meet, let's party. Next day you will have a time to go to this Polish castle and buy some interesting stuff. You have a party, but you cannot talk directly with Fred because his phone was off. Tell us, who is Fred for you?
Well, if I remember, I mean, I've known Fred's a relative. He's like a second or third or fourth cousin somewhere. I mean, we've got like the same great grandfather like that. But he's my correct me if I'm wrong, Pavel, but my impression of Fred is that he's a nice guy. He's not the sharpest pencil in the drawer, it's probably perfectly characteristic for him to get the day wrong. So
exactly.
I'm just frustrated. I'm not worried about it. But I've got some friends in Berlin. Berlin is an amazing city, and so we've gone out drinking, and I'm very small, and I don't have a very high constitution. So, and I keep forgetting how these Germans and Poles drink. So, it's not a pleasant morning for me.
Of course. You told that you've got a relative, Fred. Fred is from Poland, but your ancestor for you and for Fred was Ernst Gutschow, or Gutschow, German, who was one of the owners of the Czocha Castle. The great and really old castle from Poland. Now from Poland, earlier this region of Silesia was part of German, part of Czech, and in 1909, Czocha was bought by a cigar manufacturer from Dresden, Ernst Gutschow, and ordered major remodeling carried out by a Berlin architect, Bodo Eberhard, based on 1703 painting of the castle. Now, when you are driving in this car through those wonderful golden forests, you could see this castle, through this remodeling, rebuilt after the war and after some destroys.
Well,
what do you think about this place? Have you ever been here?
Oh, I've never been here. This is like Disneyland. This does not look real. I mean, I perk up at this. This is amazing. I have driven hours over some of the worst roads I have ever been in on my life. I mean, that road from Berlin to Czocha Castle is clunk, 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 clunk. I was beginning to even regret my decision to do this. But now I see the castle, and it's something out of a fairy tale, or looks like Count Dracula, or should live here. It's amazing.
It's interesting because if you were told about this castle, this place even played in some movies, also fantasy movies, like the old Polish movie called Witcher or The Hexer. So the old version of Polish Witcher. This place also is known because of LARPs that are there. For example, the College of Wizardry, the Harry Potter LARP, or the Witcher School LARPs. Are you interested in such things as Naomi?
Well, I'm an art historian, and try to very much put on most of the time a reasonably respectable face. But actually, I've played. It's 2019, right? I've played The Witcher 3. I've played it. It's cool. I hear they're going to make a TV show out of it. That would be awesome. It's got Henry Cavill. Boy, that's But I don't say anything about this. And yeah, I read all the Harry Potter. I've read all the Harry Potter books.
It's just your assumptions. Yeah, your bet that Henry Cavill will be the best. Yeah, definitely.
But probably all of us are thinking this.
Exactly. It's going to be, but I'm more impressed by just the look of this place. You go in through that, there's that big gate in the front, and then you see this castle. Wow. I've never seen anything like this.
You could see the river, the Kwisa River, which is close to the castle, just the opposite of it. It's really really impressive how it looks. But the main idea for you to appear there isn't having a party with Fred. Hopefully he will appear.
No. Hopefully Fred will show up. I'm here because
Dorota has invited you.
Yeah. Is she there at the castle? I mean, I assume the car parked somewhere and I've got stuff to get out.
Yeah, exactly. So as you're driving up to the car
the driver
park,
is taking.
Yeah, you're leaving your car. You're unpacking, and getting your heavy bags under your arms or whatever you have there, and you're crossing through the streets into the castle. You see the big gate that you actually mentioned, and it's beautiful. The sunbeams are hitting it, illuminating its greatness, emphasizing its greatness. When you're entering the castle itself, you're going into through the bridge that you might remember. It's beautiful autumn. The leaves are colorful. It's warm but windy, and yeah, you're here because Dorota ask you, sent you an invitation, to be precise, for an auction that will take place today, and the objects that are to be sold are a part of your relative collection of Ernst Gutschow, and they are to be sold just to have money for the restoration of renovation of the castle, and that's why you're here. Actually, you got invited. You assume that there will be more distant relatives of Ernst Gutschow, but while you are crossing the bridge, you're admiring the whole area around the town of Leszna that is nearby, the whole towers that are towering over the river. And yeah, you were supposed to meet Fred last night in Berlin, but he didn't appear. And this is actually surprising when you see him going out of the castle and entering the bridge. It's him. You know it's him, and he's a bit surprised. Tell me, please, how is he? What does he look like, Fred?
Well, when I recall, Fred looks a lot like Fred Jones out of Scooby-Doo. He's a big, tall guy, good looking guy with blonde hair, kind of a dopey, happy puppy dog expression on his face. And yeah, Pavel, that's what. Let's see you do it. He's always he's dressed in kind of a hip, modern, fashionable style, and but is basically a very friendly, very open, likable big guy. Not, as I said before, not the sharpest pencil in the drawer, but he's helpful and fun.
Yeah, he spotted you, actually. You two meet on the bridge like two cowboys at noon, at the very noon, and just looking for.
I hand him my luggage. Fred. I just hand Fred the luggage and say, "Here, you carry this."
Look at you, almost stare, and you could think that maybe it's a joke because he's trying to remember who you are. It's the first moment when you could see at his face. Naomi? Is it you?
Yes, it's me. It's Naomi. Now, take my luggage. Show me. I missed you. You word it. You got the day wrong, and I'm not really angry. It's just here and heading into the castle.
He take the luggage and walk just one step behind of you, and Normally, if you remember, he should talking, asking you about the flight, and also maybe should say sorry for this mistake, problem. Isn't talking anything like this.
Naomi is totally distracted by this castle, and I'm not really cluing in on any of this. I'm failing my perception rolls miserably here. If I was even going to try that, instead I ask, Fred, is Dorota here?
Yes. She's in the castle. Look.
Yeah, just in the middle of your question, Dorota appears.
She's talking with the old guy with gray hair and quite big mustache, hiding his mouth. He looks like janitor. He's got a gray coat.
Like a janitor. Okay, yeah.
Like a janitor. He's wearing a gray coat, and you could even see that his staff is somewhere close to him.
Yeah, she appears talking to the guy, and actually, when you entered the hall, the main hall, and seeing you and seeing Fred following you, she moves forward and gets down the stairs, greeting you, smiling, and welcoming, and everything is under control. You see that she is she's blasting, and she's euphoric about the whole thing, and the auction that is taking place here. Please tell me, how does she look like?
Well, if we're continuing with the Scooby-Doo, I don't think we're going to go with the Scooby-Doo look. But actually, I imagine she is, she is in her late 20s, early 30s ish. A little bit more. Probably has glasses, blonde hair, because Fred, and that way she's definitely not Daphne from or Velma from Scooby-Doo. And she my impression of her is that she usually tries very hard to give a kind of a more calm, respectable demeanor, but she's got a wicked sense. She's got a sharp wit, if you know the type. And I give her a hat. We're friends. I give her a hug because Naomi is very excited. This castle is amazing. I tell her that the cat ask when we can see the.
And looks at you. Someone's here, but then she smiles. It's definitely a joke, and she turns to Fred. You've already met, actually. That's fine. Yeah, I heard that you were supposed to party last night in Berlin, but Fred appeared out of the blue in the very morning, getting wake everyone here. The action is taking place in 2 hours, so I will show you the rooms. The collection, yes. The collection is all here. We will have tremendous objects to sell. You will be happy to have one of those.
Yeah, what, Naomi.
See one thing.
What was that?
Naomi, when you take a look at Fred, you see that he's giving your luggage to the janitor, and he's speaking something in Polish to him. You've got 40% to understood what he's talking about, so please roll it.
Okay, I rolled a 10, which
Wow.
is a success. Which
is a hard success even.
Wow.
Yes.
I'm
Very
feeling
nice.
pretty good about this.
So you could understood that Fred is speaking to him in a very unpolite way, that he need to take this luggage and give it whatever he want, wherever he want. And it's absolutely not the type Fred normally showed to you and to the world. Even if he isn't the sharpest person, he was always nice, polite, and rather gentle. This is the old guy, and he's giving him a luggage.
I'm gonna go. I will apologize to the old man, and I will take my luggage, and I will glance a angry look at Fred. It just take the luggage. It asks Dorothy where is there a room here that I can put this?
Yeah, she smiles and points the direction. I will show you, Naomi. It will be a
I
pleasure.
need to talk with you. But really want to talk with Dorota. You could see it from him.
Well, she's a bit confused. She looks apologizing at you, but she doesn't understand what Fred wants, actually.
I was asking you, and still didn't answer me. Will it be on the auction?
I don't know what you are talking about. Yeah, we have a lot of objects that will be interesting for you, for all of you, for you, Fred, for Naomi, for all of the guests that I invited, and yeah, they are priceless. Believe me, they are priceless.
I was asking you about one artifact. Will it be?
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm sorry, I'm in a hurry. Yeah, Naomi, please follow me, okay? We'll go to the first floor. I will show you the room. It's beautiful. It's comfortable. It's beautiful. You will feel here like at home. And she's actually leaving Fred and asking you to follow.
Fred's face looks like a stone mask, but you could see from his eyes he's really, really angry.
I
turned back and went out of the castle without talking to anyone.
I ask Dorota, what's with Fred? He seems in an awful mood.
Yes, I mean, as I said, he appeared today in the very morning, waking all up like out of the blue, and I don't know, he's behaving like he's out of the character. He never was like that. Yeah, I know he's keeping asking me questions about something that he wants to have, but I know nothing about this kind of apparatus that he mentioned. I don't know anything. Like, it took us long years to regain those objects after the stealth, after the war, and these objects were returned to the castle, and now we have a pleasure to give them, to sell them to the relatives, and this is important, right?
Hey, is there a okay, so often in an auction, and correct me if I'm wrong on how this is, but often on an auction what you have is the catalog of just basically the inventory of everything.
If you ask her, she will give you.
Yeah, I've also heard. I'm also interested in something called that
Apparatus.
The apparatus. So a quick look through that. Is that I think that's the main item that I have an interest in.
It's not on the list. It's not on the list, but I will ask you to roll psychology test if you may.
I shall. Except I don't have the psychology skill, so I don't think I'm going to do very well.
You can also use. Psychology will be the best, actually. Psychology, or maybe intelligence, but you need a hard success on intelligence.
That's still a better chance than. But my intelligence is 70. My psychology is 10. So I think I'm going to try to get a hard success on intelligence. And I roll a 52, which is a success, but not a hard success.
Okay. So it's not on the list. And she's smiling and, she's leading you to the room and she keeps talking. This is important. She keeps talking.
She keeps talking. There's a lot of paintings and such on this as well. And again, correct me if I'm wrong on this, but what I would normally do is I suspect I actually represent people that actually have a lot more money than I do that are trying to buy these things. Mm-hmm. And the one I know that there's this thing called the apparatus that once upon a time was in the collection of Czocha. But it doesn't, we didn't know if it exists or didn't exist. I hoped it exists, but it doesn't look like it did. But there's also an awful lot of valuable art that would be of interest to clients, right? Yeah, so I'm fine with it.
There are several arts, interesting art, and not only art, but also historical stuff on the auction. For someone who's a relative for the Ernst Kutschow, it's, for example, his painting. There is also some of his personal things, like the cigarette box, and also with one unsmoked cigar from him. So quite interesting thing. When you look through this catalog, you could also see some interesting, very old books, even one from 1500. So it's Historical Anatomy, 4 books of human proportion by Albrecht Dürer. That's
going to be valuable. That's going to be valuable.
Yes, very interesting.
Is it okay if I'm going to try to have a overall? It's obvious that there's a lot of valuable items on this, but I'd like to make an appraisal roll to see if there's anything that particularly stands out as being a hidden treasure.
Sure.
Is that okay?
Sure. Perfect.
See, because I picked really useful skills. Like
you have
appraisal.
the appraise. Yeah, that's fantastic. It's the first time I see so high score in appraising.
I think that you could even, because of your job, you could even use the help dice. So roll twice, and we could pick the better roll.
The first time I roll an 11.
So it's great. So
hold on, I'm going to roll a second time because you're letting me.
Okay.
It's still the extreme success as far as I
13,
remember.
An 11 and a 13.
So okay, it's absolutely the extreme success. So Mary, what is the hidden treasure?
Actually, within the whole list, when you're looking and riffling through the catalog, you actually see that apart from the portrait of Ernst Gutschow, apart from the cigarette case that Fred mentioned, there's also this book and a casket full of jewelry belonging to Tsar Nikolai I, and it's all made of gold.
Okay. I'm hoping I have some letters of credit there. This is what I'm going to be trying to do my bids on. I've got my list of top items here that I'm interested in going in here. This is it would have been cool if the apparatus was here, but this is more than made this worthwhile. And
so this is the thing that you actually you noted, and it's interesting. But since you have the extreme success, you can make up your own object to be sold. Just give us your idea for the object to be sold that you are interested in.
Okay, there's also one that clearly Dorota and the rest, when they were inventorying it, they didn't actually think very much of it because they were really playing. It's very clear from the way that the catalog is put together that their focus was on stuff associated with the Tsar. This painting of Gutschow, the cigar box. But the really interesting thing there is there is a Jugendstil piece, right? The Deutsches Jugendstil, early Art Deco piece, actually pre-Art Deco. There's a Klimt in there. It's mislabeled, and this is so there's a piece where a small as yet undocumented Gustav Klimt in this collection. And of course, I made I made a hard success here. This is
extreme success. So
extreme successes. Two extreme successes. There's I am pretty sure there's a Klimt here, and it has been mislabeled. It is going to go for nothing.
Yeah.
How's
so
that?
Of course, you spotted it. You spotted it, and this is something that actually turns your attention. Apart from the jewelry, the portrait, and so on and so on. But tell me, because
I think will be from me also, because I mentioned one very old book. When you know so much about expensive art, also expensive books, notice that sometimes the cover could hide something inside. And you remember that one of the titles mentioned on the list was also mentioned several times as possible cover which hide interesting, possibly occult book.
Yes. And given that we've already gotten a mislabeled Klimt here, I think it's entirely possible that within these books, all they did is they inventoried it based on the cover and maybe the title piece here. And yes, I mean, Naomi is not. She's not hungover anymore. She is totally in the groove here. Again, shame about the apparatus and shame that Fred is being such a dick. But I am totally enthused about this. I mean, I make sure we've got the letters of credit, and if I recall, I have a really quite good credit rating myself.
Yes.
So a number of these items I'm buying on behalf of the clients. Right, the flashy stuff. So I already know that there's a client that will want the imperial jewelry, etc. And I'm coming from New York, so I've got some very well-heeled American slang for very wealthy art collectors. But I personally want to get that Klimt and the book that I think is mislabeled, because I can probably buy those myself.
Okay.
Your tactic will be to buy more things that are rather cheap, hide those two mislabeled things, or not?
Yeah. What was that?
You're planning to hide those mislabeled cheap things with buying more such also little bit cheaper things?
Yes. Oh, yes. I mean, one thing about
the
Naomi,
tactic point of view.
Yeah. They, keep in mind, you've seen Naomi's skills. This is something she's quite good at. She may not be very good. She may not know psychology of people, whatnot. But she is good at appraisal. She is good with art history, etc. This is her thing, and you know, she's excited, and you know, very much in the mode. You know, will basically go to whatever room that I've been given, quickly change and get ready. Are we allowed to look at the items beforehand, or not?
Action will begin in 1.5 hours. So you rather, after the travel, need to try to eat something quickly, because after the action they have plans for the supper to for all participants. But now it's rather the moment to eat something. Of course, there is also the restaurant in the castle. You could eat something. It's rather on your own. Probably without Fred, and probably rather without Dorota, because Fred is a dick, as you said, and Dorota will be in the action preparation.
Chaos.
Yes, exactly.
Well, what? Yeah, I will. I'm probably, you know, will take a quick shower, get into some fresh clothes after being on a drive. Honestly, at this point, Naomi is too focused on this to actually think much about eating. You know, probably will eat some awful snack or something that I picked up in Berlin or whatnot. And it just basically is going to go over the, you know, we'll go over the list that's in the collection and whatnot, and then head on down, refreshed.
Mm-hmm. So as you are, like, you know, entering your room, it's beautiful. As you may remember, the whole furniture and the whole stuff. You have a view on the river, which is also beautiful. And yeah, you're preparing for the auction. You're just refreshing yourself. And I will ask you for a roll of listen.
Oh, well, let's see. That's not, if I recall, that is not one of my strengths. And with a roll like 87, I don't even need to look up what my listen skill is.
Okay. Are you forcing?
No.
Okay.
No, my listen is only 20. I am paying. Look, I am focused totally on the upcoming auction, and you know, I just, you know, something people, there could be, like, you know, a gigantic crash in the next room. I'm not going to notice it.
Okay. Yeah. So this is how you spend your, let's say, free time until the auction. You can just admire, you know, the whole pieces of art that are, for example, hang on the walls. And yeah, so you're just taking a shower,
Well,
you're just unpacking yourself.
Unpacking, you know, these auctions can go on for quite a while, so might even lay down for a moment and just basically, I'm not going to do anything useful until it's time. I'm just prepping for the auction, resting a little bit, getting cleaned up, putting on clothes that probably look better than my Hello Kitty t-shirt or whatever I was wearing on the drive.
Yeah. So let's cut to the auction, just to know that you are prepared. Please, Jeff, roll for your spot hidden.
Oh, well, let's see. Hopefully that's going to be a little bit better than my last roll. I'm a little bit better at spot hidden, and 49. Is that a success? That might even be a success.
I will tell you.
It's for
45.
But I think because you are spotting something that is familiar to you, roll a second time. So
Okay.
it's
Let's see here. You know, I am pretty distracted, clearly. 45. Spot on.
Okay. What I wanted to say that you are paying attention to is these are the leaflets. The leaflets that are actually showing the pictures of LARP scenario games, and you actually see the note, the name CarcossaCon, that actually took place 1 year ago, and it was also a convention, and there was a LARP scenario game there. So it's one of the leaflets among others, but it's something that you actually spotted, and it has nothing to do with the auction, but it's something that you heard of and you remember from the information of Czocha Castle, that these conventions are very popular there.
Can I totally get myself sidelined, possibly, and down a wrong trail? I want to roll on. Can I roll on my art history to recognize the name Carcossa?
Of course.
Of course, you can even roll for your occult to recognize this word.
Oh no, I don't want to do it on occult. That would be more useful. Yes. Okay. You know, that's kind of weird because Carcossa, there's a story from Ambrose Bierce, from, which is kind of a weird literary thing for one of these geek conventions. Basically, my take on it is I'm missing the Call of Cthulhu connection entirely, and in on this whole, there's something weird and literary going on here. Clearly, books matter.
Mm-hmm. So this is when Dorota actually notices you by the desk with the leaflets. She's smiling as always. She does, and she's wearing now the high heels. She's well dressed. She did her hair, and she shakes your hand one more time, like you never. Yeah.
Quick question. So I'm assuming the attire here is formal and people are dressed to impress. Men are wearing.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm also like Dorota. I am totally. I've got a very fashionable dress on. I got my makeup on. Good jewelry, etc. I'm there to look as good as possible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course. So you actually get dressed and you are prepared for the auction. So she shakes your hand, as she does with every other guest that you might see right now. There's a woman also well dressed, but in her 40s, maybe 50s, as you may assume. Maybe she doesn't look foreign. She probably comes from Poland or maybe some Eastern country. She just nods at you, and this is all your contacts with her. She rushes to the door to the basements because they're. When you're going through the fireplace room, you're going downstairs to the place that the action takes place, and there are some men also well dressed. The one guy with the mustache is he's still holding his glass with beer, but he also, he tried to.
But he looks at you because Naomi is really attractive woman. Absolutely the most attractive woman in this room, and he decided to walk to you and to say hello. You could see that he's something over 40s. He's got quite big belly, and his suit looks like expensive one. But what you could see as a woman, and not only as a woman, just as elegant person, you could see that this suit isn't fitted for him. It's expensive one, but totally unfitted, and looks very bad. When you could see lower, you could see dirty shoes. So maybe he prepared to take a good first impression, but not in such shoes. He's smiling to you, and he starts in Polish to say hello. So the first thing you understood, he said, "Dzień dobry." So it's easy test. So good morning.
Okay. Do I even have to roll?
You probably need to tell him if you prefer to talk in English, or if you're not, let's roll to talk in Polish.
Well, I actually want to do another skill that I'm probably going to fail on, but I want to try to. I want to try to get a. This would be a good time for a psychology or a hard int, and the reason is, there's a lot of guys actually with money that dress deliberately awful in order to throw things off, especially on auctions. And I'm just trying to make an assessment. Is this guy just, really a janitor who's dressed up, put into a monkey suit? Or is this something?
Choose the uprise for it. Not
okay.
the psychology. Just make the uprise test on him.
48.
Okay.
So that is a success.
Please choose the language to talk with him. If you
answer, whether this guy is clearly looks like my appraisal of him is he's a clown or he's a rich person trying to look like a clown.
For sure, he looks like a clown. For sure, he's a person who could have some money, but is rather a politician, not the art dealer or something like this.
Oh, well, I'm going to say in worse Polish than my own, because my Polish is 40. It's actually okay. I can normally engage in conversation. If I recall in the rules, that's good enough for me to have a shared conversation.
Yeah.
I'm going to apologize. I'm going to apologize that I don't understand Polish very well and switch to English.
He say, ja, ich kann spreche Deutsch, aber nicht so gut. Vielleicht Deutsch wolisz, piękna pani.
Entschuldigung, friend, but I'm from New York.
No problem. I can speak English. I'm advisor of the Ministry of Culture and Heritage of Republic of Poland.
Okay, Naomi is going to try her absolute best to be polite, tolerant, and charming. Okay, she's going to try her absolute best. What's running through her mind is, how the hell do I get rid of this guy? I don't care about the Republic of Poland's ministry culture. So she's going to try to use charm to see if she can charm her way through this.
Let's do it.
Like that, guys.
Throw away.
Okay, and charm, unlike psychology and many of these other skills, if I recall, charm I'm really quite good at.
Yes, you are.
Yep,
yeah,
you
65.
are.
Exactly like in Uprise.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Oh no, I rolled a 75. I can't seem to extricate myself from this conversation.
If you prefer to push this test,
No, I think for role-playing entertainment, it's much more entertaining if you can just kind of imagine Naomi here. She's kind of nodding her head and trying to engage in nice conversation with the Polish politician and can't figure out how to extricate herself from here.
Tadeusz Tokarz told you that his name is the same as the great father Tadeusz. And he talk about religion, about Polish politicians, about the art, about also the other auction participants.
I will want to know that, but here's a very important question. Is there drinks here?
Yes.
Yeah, of
He's
course.
got beer.
Yeah.
What?
He's got beer.
Is there like
Wine?
wine or cocktails or anything? Tell you what, at this point, Naomi has, because I failed with my charm, but I didn't fumble or anything. So Naomi's just going to kind of accept that, she doesn't want to offend this guy because he's like a locally important person. She's just going to let him sit and talk to her the whole time, bored out of her skull until he starts talking about the other auctioneers. But I do want to drink.
So if you ask him for a drink, he could bring it. Or you could take it on your own, but if you go on your own, he will go with you.
I asked him if he would get me a drink.
Okay, but it's exactly after when he told you that he's here only to stop Germans and Russians bought anything on this auction.
Shit. Okay, I'm gonna try charm again. Can I try it again?
Sure.
Yeah.
Can I try charm again? Because I'm gonna be trying to be as charming and say, well, I hope that doesn't apply to Americans.
Of course. He answered without roll.
Okay.
No, it's for him. It's absolutely okay, and he even show you that there is a Russian consul, and he finger her. He don't talk, look, this woman with dark hair. No, he just put his finger, his fat finger, just in front of elegant woman from the embassy of the Russian Federation. And the second person he noticed and he talked about is the young guy who looks like maybe early 20s, maybe even younger, with short hair, cut in maybe interesting haircut way for a young person. He looks like a poor person, rather, because of his clothes and everything. But this Tadeusz Tokarz told to you that he's German, is the owner of the great company, the great book store and antiquary. Okay, so antiquarian bookshop for Agent H. Globke from Berlin. When he told this name, you know this bookshop. You heard about Hans and Hilde Globke bookshop from Berlin.
I'm actually now, okay, I know this guy is one of these big, meaty, fat Polish politician guys, but this is useful information. So, I'm interested in this tidbits because I assume that he's going to be bidding on the old books as well. So,
Dorota,
how do you plan to keep them? How do you plan to keep the Germans and the Russians from acquiring anything?
I've got enough money for it, and if I don't got enough money for it, we will print it in National Polish Bank, and I will won everything what Germans and Russians would like to buy.
Do you know what they're trying to buy?
Not yet.
I'm gonna nod conspiratorially here. This doesn't sound like a very smart plan.
You look that he's sweating because of this talking in English. For him it's very tiring, and he not only bring you a drink, but he need also to go for him for additional beer, even before the action starts.
Dorota actually she takes her cocktail and she observes you as you are talking with Tadeusz, and she like encourages you, looking at her watch, that we have to go downstairs because the action is taking place in a minute. So everyone's ready. She looks around and please just go down the stairs and I will show the janitor to bring all the objects, and she smiles.
I use this as the opportunity to flee and go downstairs.
Okay.
Hopefully, I didn't get to meet any of them, but I learned a little bit. I had actually been hoping to be able to mingle with the other auctioneers, but that's what happens when you fail a charm roll and you rely on it. Oh, wow. Okay, let's go for it.
Okay, so
is it possible that I can get a seat? Maybe. Well, I will. I have no idea how the seating works, so I will try to get a seat.
You can sit wherever you want. Actually, just pick it. Just name it the place. If you want to sit, in the front row or in the last row. Whenever you're actually you're comfortable
I will
with.
sit in the back so I can watch what's going on.
Okay, sure.
Pavel, Mary, I'm not kidding. As far as I'm concerned, I'm playing an auction game.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's very good because we've prepared with the auction elements and so on. But before we start the action, just please make a roll of listen one more time.
Oh no. Okay, roll D100. 83.
Nope.
No.
Okay.
Tada. Okay, here's how I paint the scene. You can correct me on this. I failed the listen roll because Tadeusz is talking to me again.
Yeah, exactly. This is it. So all that you actually listen is just a short and very delicate tapping. Maybe it's something like the tap is licking or something. But here's what you are hearing is this kind of a knocking or tapping, this kind of sound, but it's very delicate.
Okay.
It's difficult to recognize from where the sound comes.
Especially since Tadeusz is
still talking. Yeah.
Yeah, chatterbox, exactly. So you see that all the people, all the auctioneers are entering inside and they are taking their seats. The last one that is actually who is closing the door is Dorota, being followed by the janitor that is preparing all the objects on the big table. With this very beautiful, some kind of cover of the table, red with golden lines on the top, and you see all the objects like you are checking probably with the catalog. It's everything that is in the catalog as you checked. And she smiles once again. She's very, you see her that she's the person that likes to have everything under control, and this is for sure. But she also may be a bit stressful because it's very important thing to her, this action. And she smiles. She starts the action. She takes the first object, which is the portrait of Ernst Guchow. She picks it up. This is a very beautiful one. This is very old. It kind of have 100 years. It's been 100 years since it was done. And it represents Ernst Guchow with the pipe in his hand near to his mouth, with inside the golden frame, let's say. And she shows it to you, to every one of you, and she says that, okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome you at the auction of Czocha Castle. We are going to sell those beautiful objects, those impressive objects, very old, very priceless, let's say, and all amounts, all cash, all funds of this action will be, of course, delivered to the restoration, renovation of the castle. So the first object, the portrait of Ernst Guchow, which is 500 euros. Who gives more?
Oh, I give more than that.
The first person who picked his hand up is a young man who is holding his phone into his ear, and definitely he's bidding for someone who doesn't appear here. In the auction take place not in Polish, it take place in English. So he's also bidding in English, in perfect English, but probably he isn't from Great Britain or USA. He's rather from Poland. 250.
Okay.
How much is it?
Smiles. 500 euros. This is the initial price. He gives what? He gives
550.
550, yeah.
Okay, so I have an important question for you all, and this is I got two questions just to make sure that I'm doing this right here. Is how much? Because I know I can get for many of these pieces. I've had a critical success on my appraisal, so I've got a pretty good idea on any of this. And I've got a high credit rating, so presumably, and I'm just walking you guys through this so that So my usual bit here is I can get access to the money for whatever I think that I can then flip the art to an end buyer, right? So, but for something that's going for 500 euros, I don't have to, this is one that, based on my appraisal, do I actually think this is a piece that has a high market value, or is this something more of a sentimental?
This is not actually a good piece of work. It's sentimental more. Yeah, definitely. It wasn't made by a very skillful and popular painter.
So what do I?
Of course, it's the interior of the Czocha Castle, so you could see the room behind of him, some sort of books also on his in his library, even behind painted. But as Mary said, if you calculate for how much you could sell this painting, maybe you could sell it for 700, 800. Maybe, with some work behind of it.
Naomi's willing to go up to, she's willing to go up to about what its value is, not because she actually thinks it would be have any resale value, but because this is a painting that has this, this is of my great grandfather. It's got some minor sentimental value on this. So I'm willing to go up around to its market value. But I want to see if anybody goes high, is knocking that up on it. But she's going to be very lazy in her bidding on this. Almost bored. Who is she?
So Dorota says 550 for the first time. You you say more. So it's.
I say more after the second she calls it twice.
Okay, so so who gives more? 550 for the first time, 550 for the second time, and who gives more? And I think this is the moment that this lady that you spotted, she was wearing the high heels and she was not paying attention to you. The Eastern look she has. She raises her hand and says 650. So Dorota smiles, 650 for the first time. Who gives more? There's a moment of silence. She looks around.
I'm willing to go up to 700.
Okay, so you raise your hand and 700. Dorota smiles. Okay, 700 euros. Okay, who gives more? 700 for the first time. Who gives more? There's a moment of silence. 700 for the second time. Who gives more? She looks around the room. This lady that was actually competing with you, she raises her hand just in the middle of Dorota saying 700. She stops and the lady says 750. So Dorota smiles once again, 750 for the first time. And this is the highest prize given by Anna Maria Czolow, our guest and the close relative to Guchow. 750 for the second time.
What was her name?
Anna Maria Czolow. And Mary.
And Mary Czolow.
Anne-Marie Czolow.
Yes. And when this name appear, you see that Tadeusz raised his hand. 800.
Dorota smiles. Okay, so we have 800 to Tadeusz Tokarz. 800 for the first time. And Mary looks at Tadeusz. She's a bit angry. She thought that it's her. She nailed it, but not. Nope. 800 for the second time. Dorota smiles and looks around. Are you going to raise your hand, Naomi?
No, it's at this point. At this point, what is it that I thought the value of this is? About 700.
Yeah,
maximum for 800.
Okay, a quick bit here. I'm imagining this is one of these early 20th century pictures of a rich guy with his pipe. I live in a nice studio apartment in Brooklyn. This is not something that I'm really going to want in my, I'm not going to put it on the wall. It's not something. So if Tadeusz wants to get it, if the Republic of Poland wants to have pipe smoking man, they're welcome to it as far as Naomi's concerned.
And you could hear his whisper. I will vote it for you.
So
800.
800.
Naomi says,
yeah.
She says 12. Okay.
So Dorota raises her hand and she shows the portrait of Ernst Guchow one more time to the audience. I think we've got the winner. So 800, and she raises her hand with the hammer in her hand for the third time and pushes the hammer on the desk. The knocking is very loud. Okay, sold. Oh my god, this is the first thing.
His
Clapping.
clapping his belly, and he's really proud of himself that he made it.
So the portrait of Ernst Guczow, 1909, is going to Tadeusz Tokarz for 800 euros. Oh my god, this is the first object that we sold. Incredible, and she's smiling a lot. She delivers it to the hands of janitor that who is actually helping her with the auction, and it's going to be put aside, and later on after the auction it will be delivered to the hands of Tadeusz Tokarz. And she takes another thing. This is the book that you spotted in the catalog, this historical anatomy, the four books on human proportion by Albrecht Dürer. And she raises it, shows it to the audience, and she says, "Okay, so this is very old. This is very old masterpiece on anatomy, 1528. You can imagine this, 1528. This is very old and priceless. Priceless, I say. And I'm gonna show you this, and you're gonna have it for at least 1,200 euros. So the four books on human proportion, and she raises it and shows it. I think we have the first participant. And yeah, this is actually, you see when you turn your head to the guy with this short hair. And he's actually raising his hand, and he's giving 1,250 euros.
Okay, so let me tell you, in the interest of being able to manage this, is Naomi's strategy on this. She wants to see how this is worth a lot more than 1,250 euros. It's worth a lot more than this. Mm-hmm. So at this point, is there anyone bidding against? I want to see if there's anybody bidding against this guy before she even feels the need to go in, because this is one I know I can resell for a lot of money.
This person with phone, this young man, said 1,528, the same as the age of the book.
Ooh. Dorota smiles and she says, "Okay, 1,528 for the first time. Who gives more?"
I'm waiting. Is anybody else thinking?
Again, this man with the shortcut, the first participant, he raises his hand and says 1,600 euros.
And for several minutes, they are switching the numbers, appraising it to 2,200 euros. The last bit was from the antiquary from Berlin, and then Tadeusz Tokarz is counting something in his wallet and thinking about, they are from Berlin. Should I?
She says, Naomi says that she would like to have some fun in a moment. Is there a third bid from this guy?
Yeah, this is for the second time it goes. The last price for the second time was shouted.
Actually, she whispers to Tadeusz that maybe we can have a little bit of fun here. And bid a few times just to see what these guys do.
Okay.
And
should I?
She says, "Why don't you? It would be fun."
2,300.
Dorota smiles. Okay, 2,300. Tadeusz, you're winning once again for the first time. Who gives more? And there's a moment of silence.
Okay, do either of these guys bid?
No.
He's giving the highest price.
I say to Douche, let me. I want to come in and have some of the fun, and I bid it $100 more.
What?
100 euros more.
Okay.
2,600.
2,600. Okay.
No, it's more. You said 100, so it's
24.
24.
2,400. Yeah.
Now, keep in mind what's running through Naomi's head is these are Dürer front piece originals. So even if there's nothing else in this, I can sell this for a lot more than 2,000. A lot more than 2,000. So yes, this is paid for the whole trip if I get this here.
And Dorota smiles again, as she does always. She raises the object, the book, very carefully and says, "Okay, wow. So Naomi, yeah, you're winning 2,400 euros for the first time. Who gives more?" There's a moment of silence. 2,400 euros for the second time. 24, and she looks around. 2,400 euros for the third time. Sold!
Oh, I clap. I'm happy.
Yep. She smiles also, and she gives it to janitor. He puts it aside. After the auction, you will be delivered your objects, and the whole thing with money will be held afterwards. And Dorota, now she takes this casket of jewelry that you actually spotted in the catalog. It belongs to the Tsar Nikolai I. It's of course made of gold. It looks amazing. It's impressive, and she raises it. But there's this moment when she spots that Fred is actually talking something. For a while, he is suddenly whispering something. That's why she is distracted. She looks at him. Can I?
I know that you've got apparatus here. Where is it?
She looks at him. I don't know what you're talking about. We have this casket full of jewelry. Can we continue the auction, shall we? Yeah? So this casket of jewelry... she gets nervous. Definitely, she looks like she's sweating and she's distracted. So this is... And her hands are trembling. This is worth like 2,000 euros. Who gives more? 2,000 euros for the first time. Who gives more?
It's the mistake, because in the catalog it was 1,500.
Yeah.
And you could see that in the catalog the opening bid for it is 1,500. So she make a mistake.
I'm finding this all very strange here because Fred is behaving like a total dick. Dorota is these are not huge values of money that are going here. This isn't these aren't going for 2-3 million euros. This is I don't understand what the stress is about this. They're friends of mine, so I don't think anything bad or criminal or suspicious, but it is weird. And it's been a mistake. And before anybody complains, I'm going to be nice to Dorota, and I will bid 2,000.
She looks at you. Okay, so 2,000 euros for the first time. Who gives more? She looks around, and this is the moment I will ask you for the roll of, let's check it, appraise and intelligence. Just give me 2 rolls.
Okay. These are both good skills. Okay, appraise is a success with a 40.
That's fine.
intelligence is a 16. And if you remember, I'm pretty smart.
Yep. Oh, that's actually almost extreme, so hard. Okay, so you see her, you see Dorota, you observe her during this whole action, and you are also like paying attention to those objects that are on the table and that were sold already. Dorota is quite. First of all, she's quite nervous, but also when she's raising those objects, when she's holding them in her hands, she's trembling, and like she treats them very carefully, and she looks like she was afraid of something.
And you could see that in the first row there's Fred sitting, just staring directly at her and constantly looking at her face, at her hands, without any move. It's totally unnatural and also a little bit scary.
Yeah, well, I have no idea what's going on with Fred here. I mean, you know, he's always been this nice, likable guy. Now he's being a total dick here. Total. I'm actually kind of a little bit disgusted here, and I want to, how is this like you can't take a break while the bidding is going on, but I'm thinking that after that I'm gonna ask if there can be a pause for the auctioneer, because I'm really worried about Fred's behavior here. But I don't want Fred to get this either, because he's being such a jerk about it.
Okay.
So I've bid 2,000 already.
So Dorota, she's quite surprised that no one else is betting, is going to buy this very priceless, object. And
This is the casket, right? This is the casket.
This is the casket full of jewelry. Yes. Yeah. And she says, "Okay, Naomi, for the second time, who gives more? Give me more."
And there is a bid from this Russian lady, as Tadeusz Tokarz noticed, and she is bidding 20,000.
20,000?
Yes.
Okay. Now, you can tell me how this works and how you want to have this work, but this is worth a lot of money. It's connected with the Imperial Court of Russia. This is something that in New York we could probably find a bidder for. What I got a really good appraisal. We're talking $1 million.
And since you have very good rolls on appraise and intelligence, this is curious that those things, all those objects, are worth hundreds less that they should be worth. And you know that in New York, in USA, you will just sell it,
25.
Even more. Even more. Even more.
25,000.
Really, they are priceless. And here, Dorota is going to present to give it to you for really very low price. And this is curious.
25,000 is a steal. That is a steal on something like this. That's almost insulting. So I'm raising it to 25,000.
Okay. Wow. So she is astonished one more time, and she looks at you like in her eyes you can read are you mad or something? But yeah, she raises her hand and says 25 for the first time. Who gives more? No one. 25 for the second time. Last chance.
No.
Yeah.
Tokarz, look at what's happening, because this both this lady and this young man with the phone, both are picking their hands in the air. He's talking 30. She is talking 300.
$300,000.
300,000.
Yes.
Okay.
300,000. Okay, 300,000. We have 300,000 for the first time. Who gives more?
Stop. I want to make a credit rating right now to see whether I think I can swing 300,000. Because again, this is the mere fact that this used to be owned by the Russian Imperial Court means that I, if I acquire this, I can certainly flip it for many times that value. The question is can I raise the money?
You need to calculate both, not only your credit rating, but also the possible price for the book that you already bought for funny money.
Yeah. We're talking $100,000 to a $500,000 book that I picked up for 2,400 euros. So can I make a credit rating roll?
Sure.
Do I get any sort of bonus because how?
Bonus dice you can take.
Okay, so tell us to the studio audience how we want to handle that.
So roll 2 times and pick the better result.
Okay. Now my credit rating. You have my character sheet in front of me, and in this digital era, I have to say I love having 2 screens, which I currently don't have. So I'm going to try this here. And let's see here. I have a 50 credit rating. Credit rating roll number 1. Oops. If I say roll 50, do you know what it's going to give me as a number?
Ooh.
Roll 100, not 50.
Okay, my first roll is a failure with an 88, but I get a bonus die here. So my second roll is a 15. 15.
So it's hard success.
Yes.
That is a hard success. I'm going to go, she went to 300.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go for 350.
Okay.
Easy.
Okay, so Dorota keeps raising her hand. And okay, Naomi, for the first time, who gives more? Do I have more? Moment of silence. For the second time.
She's raising her hand, looking at you. 500. It's the
500,000.
Yes, and she's talking in English directly for you. It's the only reason I'm here.
I say that I'm also here for the great cocktails.
Dorota smiles.
Based on my hard success, what's my credit? You tell me what my credit limit is on this, guys. I'm pretty sure that this is worth well over €1 million. Well over €1 million. Probably more than that. How much can I cobble together? Tell me, Pavel.
It depends. It depends if you choose to spend additional money for the things you earlier pick. So those.
Well, I mean, Drew, everything else compared to this is a rounding error. It's a rounding error on this. So can I go to 400?
Yeah.
I'm going to go to 400.
Okay.
400,000. So you raise your hand. Dorota.
I say 400,000 at $400,000 and another cocktail.
Dorota looks at you. $400,000 euros. Sorry, euros for the first time. Who gives more?
5.
500,000 for the first time. Who gives more?
Okay, now we're getting probably to the bit where it's probably pretty difficult for me to pull this off, isn't it? I mean, 500,000 in credit that's getting to a lot of money. Do you want me to make one more roll, or are you going to say I've hit my limit? You tell me.
Roll. If you succeed, then go for it. Okay. If you fail, it's your limit. And it's normal success.
I failed. So I cannot go higher than that.
Okay. So you are thinking it over for a short while, but Dorota stops you up there.
Tokasz has got white lips and his sweat, and he don't have permission to spend such big money here. And he cannot block this Russian bit.
I will say though this about for in contrast, Naomi is not sweating, but we'll want another cocktail afterwards.
So Dorota looks at you both, and she raises her hand. She knocks with the hammer. She pushes on the desk for the second and for the third time. Sold. And she smiles. She gives it to the object, to the casket, to the janitor. He is putting it aside, and Dorota turns to you and says, "Okay, well, that was fantastic. I have never expected to give it for this amount of money. This is incredible. Let's say let's have a short break, okay? Feel free to get your cocktails. We're seeing one another in 15 minutes, okay? 15 minutes break." And she's sweating, she's nervous, and you still wonder why all those objects are worth so low.
This is, and why everybody is shocked that it's going.
Yeah.
To this.
Yes, exactly.
Even at 500,000.
Yeah.
My thought is Anne Marie is going to make, if she's spending 500,000 on this, she's going to make 300% profit off this.
Yeah.
Easy. So what the heck is going on here?
Exactly.
With this. But I have a mirror of psychology of 10. So it's just weird. That's it.
This is it. But you can take one.
It's not the only one thing which is weird.
Oh, there's a lot of.
Jeff, because Naomi, there's something. You need to roll for sanity.
Ooh, I get a roll a sanity check?
Yes.
Yep.
Yay. Now I'm pretty good. But I've been rolling very hit or miss. So let's see what I get. Roll D100 and I get an 11.
Okay. That's fine.
Because
throughout...
But you need to understand what's happening. If you failed such roll, it could cost your sanity.
Yes.
But you understood one thing. You could hear now a clicking voice, like pushing the metal buttons, like from maybe the cipher machine. But you understood one thing. This voice is coming from your head. It's in your head. It's very strange. But what you
keep
should
hearing
do
the
with
sound.
It?
Okay, so I'm hearing this clicking voice in my head.
This tapping and knocking. Throughout the whole action, actually, you realize that it was it. This was clicking, knocking, tapping. This was weird.
Okay, so quick thing about how you guys like to run sanity checks like this. When I succeed with a sanity roll, usually, and this is just the way I play this, and you guys can tell me how you want me to play this, but usually what it is that you're able to come up with a rational explanation for what's going on, and that's why I don't lose any sanity here.
Mm-hmm.
I got this weird clicking in my head. Now, I was out drinking last night. I had a bit of a hangover. It was an awful drive, and I haven't eaten very much.
Maybe also a small jet lag?
A little bit of jet lag. I'm thinking I've got some, and I've been listening to Tadeusz is entertaining in his lameness. He's ironically awesome. But he is actually kind of irritating as well. I'm sure, I've got this big, fat, sweaty guy sitting next to me. I'm sure he doesn't smell the best, and so forth. So I'm thinking that this is just tired, stress, dickish behavior from Fred, hangover, bad drive, plus jet lag altogether. So I'm gonna take some I'm sure in my purse I got some anti-headache medication or something.
Sure.
I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna get a cocktail as well. How's that sound?
Mix it with cocktail.
Absolutely.
It will work.
It'll work awesomely.
It will work.
It will work. So that's what I'm going to do there.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I'm explaining this away, because anything else, and I would have lost sanity points.
Mm-hmm. Sure. So maybe it's also the thing that the old clock on the wall is ticking, and this is it. The whole, factors, all the factors are mixing, and this is it. You take the pill, you take the cocktail, and you see Fred coming out of the room to the main hall where the cocktails are, and he's sweating and he's angry.
I ask, what's wrong, Fred? Come on, that just went for $500,000.
Turn back to you and stare into your face with anger.
Relax. Relax, Fred.
There is apparatus here. She should sell it to me. You understand it? I need to buy it. You could see his face. Naomi, you could see his face just in front of you. We need to take one roll from you for spot? No. Let's make a roll.
Okay, roll. D100.
Psychology.
I think not. Maybe spot hidden.
Yeah.
15.
Yeah.
15.
Wow.
15.
Oh, you nailed it.
Tell me the color of Fred's eyes. You remember it?
Normally it's blue.
Blue?
Yeah, it's blue. It's sky blue. He's got the Fred Jones from Scooby-Doo look. Blonde hair, blue eyes. You think he's going to be... He played... If it wasn't for the fact he's Polish, I would assume that he played high school football.
So you could look in his eyes and see that blue, of course there is blue color, but you could also see the black strange spots on his eye. Very strange.
The spots are kind of moving.
And you should take another sanity roll because of this.
Something wrong. How many points do I lose? I rolled a 90, a failure.
I think you can take, the roll of K4 dice. Yeah, and
so
the result
D4.
D4, yeah, D4. And your result will be okay. So 2 points. You can you lose 2 points of sanity. Actually, you can decrease your sanity amount of 2 points by the 2 points.
Okay, so it's at 58 now.
Mm-hmm.
You catch your arms and stare at you and say, Naomi, you need to help me. Apparatus is here. I need to find apparatus. Help me.
What's wrong with you? What's wrong, Fred? There's something wrong with your eyes. What's wrong? Why do you need this apparatus so much?
When you notice his eyes, he stepped 2 steps backward. No, everything is okay with my eyes. For sure, everything is okay with my eyes.
I say I've had some eye drops if you need some eye drops.
There is a mirror close to you, and he walked in front of it. Yes, maybe I need some eye drops. Maybe it's I don't know. Maybe I put dirty finger into my eyes.
Yeah.
Thank you for it.
Danby's a little creeped out here. I mean, the eye things, whatever it is, it's moving. It's making him real, and he's really weird and not behaving normally. I think he's sick or something. He's, I only lost 2 points of sanity, so I don't think that creepy going on. But it's kind of. I don't know. He's got something going on. Maybe maybe he's had some sort of minor stroke or something, and there's like blood or something in his eyes or something. I'm sure I have eye drops. Right, Mary? Women always have eye drops.
Of course, in their purse. Yeah, but there's no
Exactly.
blood. It's just blood stain. It's just black stains. But yeah, you explained it to yourself that this is a matter of eye drops, and that's fine.
But I give
Maybe,
eye drops.
maybe if you success on sanity roll, you could just say it. But
I know
you
it's
have
not.
seen the moving spots, the moving in unnatural way in different directions. So it's.
I don't know.
Something
I'm thinking it's like some sort of weird parasitical infection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
I don't actually want to touch Fred. But I tell him to go to the bathroom, go to the restroom. I give him some eye drops and put a few of these in.
Yeah, you give it to him. The eye drops are, of course, in your purse, and you borrow it. And this is the moment when you hear the bell ring, and it's Dorota, who is actually shouting and who is calling you to the auction downstairs.
Well, I want to go to Dorota as quickly as I can and ask her, is everything okay? You're not looking very good. You're not looking well. And I want to see if her eyes are funny too, because I failed my sanity.
Well, Dorota is standing at the top of the stairs. Fred is following you. He took a step back from you. You're coming up to Dorota. She's smiling as always. And yeah, what you see in her eyes is that she's very happy, euphoric. And her eyes are truly black. But are those stains? You don't think so. These are just, this is just the look of a woman who is very happy, who maybe drank more than she could. But something is wrong, especially with this knocking. Maybe it's tapping, this clicking sound that is everywhere right now. Maybe this is something that emphasizes this weirdness. Dorota smiles and just, leads you downstairs. She's perfectly fine.
You remember that she's got the dark eyes, almost black, but
but no,
it's normal for her.
But she was shaking. She was sweating before. That's actually more what I'm concerned about for her. I just looked at the eyes just because that was so creepy with Fred.
Her eyes are fine, but she's too much euphoric.
Yeah, which is kind of weird because just a few minutes ago she was trembling and shaking. Yeah, exactly. This is what you actually spot and notice in her behavior. But maybe it's alcohol. Maybe it's the whole aura of this exciting things going on. Maybe, but you believe she's fine, apart from Fred. And I think we can continue our auction on this Next
second session. Yeah, on the next session.
Brilliant.
Very good. Very nice.
Was this okay, guys? Did you all
Oh,
have fun?
yes, perfect. I was having so much fun.
Of course, it was great, and even if both of my characters were one was Dick and the second one was politician. It's great to play with you, and maybe now we should say one thing to our viewers. Thank you very much for viewing us, and we will meet next week in the next part of our session.
Thanks for tuning in. This has been a blast.
Thank you very much for watching.
Thank you very much. Bye. Thank you very much. Bye. It's for the viewers, of course.
Yes. Okay, Jeff, that was a blast. It's totally. I am having so much fun. It's kind of weird, weird atmosphere of Call of Cthulhu, and these jokes all around, like Fred behaving like a dick. That was awesome.
It was great.